KJP
Oh, my goodness.
on anti-Semitism.
Listen.
His level of concern right now about the potential rise of anti-Semitism in light of everything that's going on in Israel.
So a couple of things. We have not seen any credible threats. I know there's been always questions about credible
Pause it
threats.
right there. Pause it right there. This whole setup, the question was, is there concern about the rise of anti-Semitism?
Yeah.
Okay. So she just uses that.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, well, we haven't seen that. To launch into her talking points about Muslims. This is.
Let's hear it.
I mean, God almighty.
About credible threats, and so just want to make sure that that's out there. But look, Muslim and those perceived to be Muslim have endured a disproportionate number of hate-fueled attacks.
What?
And certainly President
talking
Biden
about
understands that many of our Muslim, Arab,
we're talking about
Arab
Jews.
Americans and Palestinian American loved ones and neighbors are worried about the hate being directed
They're worried
at their
about
communities.
it.
And
They're
that is
worried
something
about
you
it.
heard the president speak to
Why?
in his
happening?
address.
No, but they're
just
worried about
last
it.
Thursday. And so one of the
this
things
is
that the president
outrageous.
has done is directed his team, Homeland Security team, to prioritize prevention and disruption of any emerging threats that could harm the Jewish, the Muslim, Arab Americans, or any other communities. And that is something that the president has sought to do and since day one. As you know, the president ran
On what?
On
Laws?
bringing protecting communities, obviously, but bringing people together.
Oh, he's done that.
Bringing people together.
Protecting the soul of the nation.
Protect the soul of the nation,
That
Pat.
is something that the president takes very, very seriously. We're going to continue to denounce any sort of hate towards any American
good for
here.
you. Good.
And so that's what we're going to
That'll take
continue
care
to be
of it.
steadfast
If you
on.
denounce
Again,
it won't
he has
happen.
directed his Homeland Security team to make sure that they're on top of this.
Yeah, okay.
Disproportionate. What is she talking
outrageous.
about?
Well, like what they always talk about, and that's Muslims are always the victim. Doesn't matter. They're always the victim. Even when Jews are being attacked, viciously attacked, it's Muslims. It's the Islamic world that's the victim.
So wait a minute. This own federal government, who she's up there employed by, they've said that when it comes to religious-fueled attacks, nearly 2/3 are directed at Jews in this country.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't line up with what she said there, though.
Yeah, but what we're doing, though, look, we're going to make sure that that the Muslims in this country are safe, and the Muslims in every country are safe, and that they're worried right now. They're worried about attacks being turned against them.
Okay.
Yeah, they're worried about anti-Islamic hate, and so we're being vigilant. We're on the lookout for that right now.
I see.
Now it's not happening, but they're worried about it. So are we.
Okay, but again, the numbers aren't really doing what you're saying they're doing.
Yeah, I know.
Oh boy,
it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No.
She always answers the question that she hears in her head, and she already has the answer for in her book. She doesn't answer the question that's asked. As long as she has the great big book of everything in front of her, she can answer any question.
And she quickly pivoted off of that.
Oh my gosh!
But look, right? I mean, when you hear someone in this administration, whether it's the president or it's KJP, anyone, look,
they're about to
buckle
lie.
up.
They're gonna change the subject, and they're gonna lie every single time. Meanwhile, they've got the people in the Hamas caucus.
Oh, the Hamas Congress.
Man, that's great.
Yeah.
Ilhan Omar from the Hamas caucus had a rant yesterday.
Oh yeah, this is last.
For a few questions.
Ceasefire.
Your colleague Richie Torres has said calling for a ceasefire is a dangerous double standard that the U.S. wouldn't hold itself to. So my question is if this attack happened in America, would you be calling for a ceasefire as well?
Vengeance is not a foreign policy doctrine.
Oh, read that talking point.
We
for
are
Hamas.
here to save lives. Israelis,
Are you?
Palestinians,
Bull crap.
Americans. Anyone else?
So is that a yes or a no?
Anyone else?
I do have another question. Why don't you want Israelis
A question
to go after
from
the
anyone
terrorists
else?
that burned, tortured, killed their babies and children and still have them hostage? Why
good.
don't you want the Israelis to go after the
That's
terrorists
great.
that did that? How many more killings is enough for you? Is it 1,000 more? 2,000 more?
It's however
3,000?
many it
How many more
takes.
Palestinians would make you happy if they
Wow.
died?
All of Hamas.
Will you be fine?
Pause it
If
for a
all-
second. Every single member of Hamas, that's when I'll be happy, is when every single member of that terrorist group, Hamas, is killed. That would make me happy. And I'm sure that would make Israelis fairly happy as well. So is that an answer to your question, Ilan?
Vengeance is not a foreign policy.
What was that? Was that what you said?
I don't know, but let's hear the rest of her stinking rant. Man,
Gaza were gone? Would that make you happy? Would that be the thing that makes you proud? And maybe that's the question you should ask Richie. Is he okay? How many more Palestinian lives is he comfortable with? Because I'm not comfortable with any more.
Oh, she's comfortable with all the Israeli
questions?
deaths, but not the Palestinian ones. None of those.
All right, thank you.
That's on that. What
Wow, I
do you
can't
say
take
to the
these
Israeli
people.
people that feel like you're telling them
Why?
to do nothing when their children are being held hostage by terrorists?
Boy, she kept going. Good for her. Who was that? Do we know?
I don't know. That was on Friday out there in that little
Okay.
rally in front of Congress.
Oh,
there.
she's great.
Yeah, but I love Elon Omar storms away like, I have the moral high ground now. Shut
Yeah,
up.
right.
I think that there's
The worst.
a cartoon that I saw that I think is just perfect, and it shows Hamas or someone, I guess somebody in a Palestinian flag, and they're attacking a beehive, and it's Israel. And then the bees come out and chase him away, and then he runs to the press and it's like, "Look what Israel's doing! I mean, they just attacked me like I wasn't doing anything."
So great.
Anyway,
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And speaking of Palestinian flags, there's a Hamas flag in Minneapolis.
yeah, watch this, man. So this was the rally.
Oh, look at that.
So that's the Palestinian flag. Now watch this.
And then
This is a flag of a terrorist group on an American city street. I mean, this is Ilhan Omar's neck of the woods, right?
yeah.
So maybe she'll come
Yes.
out and condemn this, right? Look at that.
Oh, look at that. Jeez, that is unbelievable.
If that were an ISIS flag, we good with that?
I mean, she is probably.
Yeah, that's-
she probably is. As long as it's not an Israeli flag.
You think
Or an
about
American
that.
flag.
If that were a Confederate flag anywhere in America, regardless of context, regardless of events
It's all
happening,
we would hear about for weeks,
it'd be like,
months.
because remember, George Bush had to condemn the Confederate flag flying over a state that he wasn't even connected to.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so that's your district there, Elon. Gonna talk about that one?
Then in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
there was more.
Yep. So what you're seeing here from the overhead. So there's an old man, I think he's in his 80s, and he's driving. He doesn't understand what the hell is happening here, and so
He almost gets out, and
Right.
then fortunately gets the door
Yeah.
shut. Because look at these animals, just attacking him. He's trying to get around the crowd
Right.
and move on with his life, and they won't let him.
No.
They expect him to sit there and wait while they do their die-in or whatever dumb demonstration they're doing in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And then if you drive anywhere, if you try to get around them or through them very slowly, try not to hurt anybody, then it's the worst thing that's ever happened. It's the biggest catastrophe of all time.
I know.
You're a senseless, brutal killer. Now, every one of their actions is perfectly fine, right? But they can beat on your car. They can pound on your vehicle. They can drag you from your car and beat you to death.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
and they almost did. Watch. I mean, look. This is the poor guy. This is the old man. Look at him. He's so confused. He's like,
yeah. He doesn't know what's going
Can
on.
I please get on with my life? And so there are unconfirmed reports that they sprayed him with like bear spray or mace or something.
No, I'm sure they did.
Yeah. Now watch this. Now, so they start chasing after him because he's like, I've got to get out of here or I'm going to die.
Yep.
And
Good for him.
And now the guy running with the camera here, yeah, he's a candidate for city council coming up in a couple weeks. Is that right, Chris?
My gosh.
And he's telling the world, find this man. Look at that. And he'll listen.
Just ran.
You pathetic douchebags.
America 2023.
Oh.